So everybody can join in here. 1 second. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, awesome. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Happy election day, happy election night. So we'll see how things end up tomorrow. So pretty appropriate topic for this week. So this week we're talking about day trading around big events. Yesterday we talked about straddles, and today we're going to talk about strangles. So before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to check and see where we left out of the market today. And then we're going to take a look at the futures and see how they're behaving or misbehaving here tonight, and what we have setting up into tomorrow. And then we'll take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right. So SPX, what a day today. So up 58 points. Monthly chart, we're still looking at a double inside month right now. Weekly chart, inside week. Big levels to contend with right here are the upper shadows, right? This prior resistance level. So we've got that drawn on here. Again, that prior resistance level was holding a support briefly for 1 week, and then we flushed down last week, and now we're trying to reclaim some of that range. If we look at the daily chart, whoa, what's going on here? So yesterday we talked about the ABC correction. So that correction might be in right now. This is very possible. They're not making it easy though, right? Because we had decreased volume today on the SPY. We did fill the open gap, which was our trade of the day today at the open. We took futures long on that one and made a nice move on that. Folks did well. Also took calls, I believe, in the group. Upper shadow here off of the 50-day moving average and upper shadow off of the cloud. So we'll see how that holds. If it doesn't hold and things take a turn for the downside tonight and into tomorrow, right, we might see a push down here to the bottom of the trend box. We'll look for a volume confirmation below there that is potentially shortable down the 200-day moving average, and then we really want to see if it does push its way down, how we hold the 382. So this is actually very possible right here. This is a 1, 2 because we haven't intersected this level yet. 1, 2, 3, 4 with a larger retrace than wave 2, and then a wave 5 down to finish up an impulsive wave down for a 3, 3, 5. ABC, ABC, 3, 3, 5 potential. We'll see. So we'll see how that goes right here. I mean, that is possible probably to get a 5 count in here as well, but we'll just kind of see how the market goes going into tomorrow. Let's take a look at the price action here today. So the big move today is that we gapped over yesterday's high, right? So at that point here, we need to look for two things. We need to look and see if the bears want to step up and fill that gap, and then we want to see how it holds and see if we can bounce off of it, or we look for the gap and go. Clearly today with this strong move on the opening candle was a bullish move. Right now, the fact that it went up this high, this strong, was just a nice benefit this morning. But we got long, somewhere between below this 33. I think it was like 33.43 on the for the 15-hour break this morning, and then it just kept on going like super strong. So that was a pretty amazing move today. We pushed our way up, and I'll show you where that looks like where we found resistance on the futures in a moment, and then it worked its way back down, double inside 15, and just kind of did its little thing, a little crazy end of the day type action here at the close. Let's take a look. These are the levels that we provide to our members before each market opens, so you can see how valuable those are. Obviously, the open gap was a huge target for the bulls this morning, right? And that's what we were targeting too. So nice inside 5 up here, 15-hour break. Right, get up to the next levels, right, filled the gap, and then kind of did its thing after the gap was retested and filled, came back down, bounced off of this level, and then worked its way up before flushing into the close. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see how they're behaving here this evening. So they are behaving and misbehaving, so pretty cool stuff, but let's just take a look at the intraday action. Like we said, we had a big move up overnight, right? We gapped up, right? So we gapped over Friday's highs. This was a key level that we were watching this morning. We formed a signal zone, right? This is one of our supply-demand zones that we use to trade off the futures, which helps us trade SPY options as well. And you can see here, we had a rally-based rally, right? And then I talked about even in the public Twitter that this was looking like a bull flag going to the open as long as we held the channel. We broke down the channel briefly this morning. So there was on the live stream, we were discussing this. We were like, hey, if this thing could really push down, I was basically getting ready to take this inside 5 down to fill the open gap down here. That was that line we just pointed at. And since they couldn't take that down, we were in rally mode. And what I really liked was this intersection with the overnight channel and the bull flag geometric line right here. Look at how they just crossed X mark right at the 15 hour. orb. X marks the spot on that one. So my target on this one, we got long right on the 15 orb breakout right here. I think my entry was like 43. I was a little bit slow on it, but it gave a great push. My target was this signal zone, but it just kept on going, right? So you raise stops, right? And then this is just turning into a wave 5 up, right? So or wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have a nice day, right? So that made the day right there. And again, we kind of chopped around between these signal zones right here, and we found resistance at this signal zone before dropping today. So where did that correspond with? That might have been a little bit farther back. Yeah, that was a while ago. It was an old signal zone, but they still play. They're still valid. So nice move off of those levels. And again, when we dropped today, it was a pretty cool drop. It took a little bit, right? So we got through the signal zone here. Retest. Let's take a look at the retrace on that one. Retest of these levels here to here. 382, beautiful move right off of the signal zone, and then it worked its way down to the next signal zone before bouncing, retesting, and then up again. So futures are up here this evening, right? And maybe kind of triangulating a little bit right here. Possible bull flag. Let's go with bull. Tough to make a bull flag out of that. Let's just it's just basically consolidating right here. So let's see how it holds through this evening if we can break down below these levels. I actually took a quick short off of these levels here today. I think my entry was 33.92.25. So got a nice little down move right here this evening, and took profit right around here. Had stops on the rest right at 84 and got stopped out right there on the rest for profit. And so again, could be a wild night for the rest of the night, and let's see how that goes into tomorrow. Let's just put a quick geometric line on this. We could actually probably put a channel on it here too. Just kind of see how this holds going into the night, but expecting some activity tonight, and certainly in tomorrow morning. So tomorrow should be a very, very interesting day. So good stuff. So let's take a look here. Let's go at the topic today. So today we're going to talk about day trading around big events, and today we're going to be talking about Strangles. So yesterday we talked about straddles, right? So straddles is when let me go ahead and pull this chart up right here. Let me get a clean, relatively clean chart up here. Yeah, I'll just pull up the hourly chart right here. That's fine. So straddles we talked about yesterday, right? Is let's go to the SPY. And so straddles we talked about yesterday is when we get the both. We've got it still pulled up here from yesterday, right? So yesterday we talked about the at the money straddles to see how they would go into the elections, right? They were pretty expensive. They were like $9.70. Today, right, the at the monies here were at $3.37. They're about $8.74. So really what that's saying is market makers are basically pricing in an $8.74 move. So that's the straddle, right? So one of the things that we like to look at, another possibility to trade around big events, is the strangle. Okay, so what a strangle is that's just basically buying, and you don't need a margin account to do this. It's just buying the call and the put, but both out of the money. So what it does is it gives you a cheaper entry, but it's really got to move for this thing to work, right? So the straddle can move a little bit, right? The strangles, it's got to move. It's getting into those levels. So if we're expecting a 10-point move tonight, right? So what we would do is we'd buy the 227 puts here, and we'd buy we go up 10 more. We buy the 347 calls. Okay, so you can see that's about 10 points out of the money on each one. So if we're expecting more of a 10-point move on the market going into tomorrow, you can see it's a lot cheaper than buying the straddle. So, but it's got to get in those levels, and these become profitable, once those levels get exceeded, and if we can get a good move, right? So here we're looking at a $1.83. So if we get over here, these things have to more than triple on the move. It is possible, right? Because in the money right now is like $3, and if you discount theta, if we do get in the money, these could be $3, and then you end up making $1 profit on it. These similarly, if we push down, the puts, right, would have to make up for the calls, right? These are 56 cents right here. So if you're in the money on these are showing $6 in the money on these, and that would clearly pay for itself if it can make a move. So this is one strategy to do going into a big event, and can give a good move. If you look at the intraday, right? So if we just kind of look at, let's say we got a straddle today at 11 o'clock here on the hourly chart. And so just to kind of show you what it would look like. So let's say we were expecting it to come back and test these levels right here, right? So this is going to come back and test our signal zone below. So that's about 335. Okay, so what we'd want to do is we'd want to get the 335 puts from 338. So that's $3 out here, and then we would get the strangle for $3 up, right, which would be 340. So let's see what those look like today. So the 340s and the 335s. So let's take a look at those. So the 330s and the 335s. So let's see. So I'm going to delete this one. Okay, so we would get the 335s and the 340s. Okay, and so so what we'll do is we'll price those in. Those ended up at $6.50. But so at that time at 11 o'clock, we'd look for tomorrow's expiration. So 2011-04. So we look at the calls, which would be the 340 calls plus the dot spy 2011-04 plus the puts plus the 335 puts. Okay. So I'm going to pull those up here. Let's just take a look at how they played out here off of the 11 o'clock candle. If we caught it at the high there, if we were like instead of just shorting off of a key level, we kind of went with that. Again, with these we kind of want to remove the wicks. So let's look at the real body here. So you can see it on the 11 o'clock candle. These were at approximately approximately $6.77. These things pushed down all the way here. You got to ignore the wicks. These pushed down to $6.46, right? And they got as high as $3.87, and that was from a $6.77. So they really don't make sense intraday. You've got to get a big move, right, for these things to really work. And we'll talk a little bit more about these this week when we go over some earnings strategies. Other than that, from there, we will continue this discussion going on into this week. So good stuff. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can. We'll try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. Let me get SPY pulled up here, and we'll go to the daily chart. Let's get SPX pulled up. And go to the daily. And see what we've got going on. So Shirley sent a few in via email. Again, guys, thanks everybody for keeping Shirley your thoughts and prayers. She gets better all the time. Let's take a look at Honeywell. So Honeywell got an upgrade this morning, and it also had some pretty good earnings the other day. Right, so a nice gap up right there. So Honeywell, this is a rarely traded name, but it is definitely working its way up pretty nicely right here. A little bit of caution. It's got some work to do to get over these other pivots, but let's see if it can continue to do that. Again, 3 strong candles in a row. Let's see if it pauses for a little bit and continues to move on Honeywell. Let's take a look at another kind of safety name, right? So Colgate. So it gave a nice inside day up today for a good push. Looks like we got fresh highs on this one, so looking really good there. Strong volume on that one. Look to see if it gives you a pause day and another move up on that one. Great find there. BLL, another good name. This is coming up on earnings on this one. This is a tough name to trade. I know you track this one a lot. In fact, I think we have some old pitchfork levels here that we're actually coming to and testing the bottom of the pitchfork, if you could believe it. So again, a nice push up there, fresh highs on this one. Again, decreased volume, so a little bit of caution there. PNC. Okay, so local banks. Right, big gap up today, big push on this one. So again, the banks were strong today. We took a trade in the group today on Bank of America for a decent move, and then, but yeah, definitely saw some strength in the financial sector today. The futures just took a tank. I'm sorry, I was looking at my other screen right there. So a little bit of a drop on the futures right there as we lost the trend channel. Let's just take a look at this right here again, guys. This can be some wild action here tonight. So just take a quick look at this one here on the file. Look at that, just lost that channel we just drew to come back to the beginning. So expect some volatility. So anyway, so back to the chart request. LRC. I was looking at the corner of my screen and I saw this big red candle. I was like, what's going on? So anyway, not for the trading into a big event with futures is not for the faint of heart. LRCX with a big push here today. Pretty decent there. Again, watch your geometric levels on this one. Okay, so it looks like it's forming like a sideways cup and handle right here. Nice push on this. Let's see if it can work its way back up and get over those levels with some nice move. But a nice intraday move on this one today for sure. Great find, Shirley. I really appreciate it. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's take a look at Amazon. Amazonius with an inside day today. So Amazon's just been all over the place, right? It's in a macro trend box right now from its Corona crash recovery. It's in the macro channel box here, so this is kind of a key level for it to hold. If it breaks down below there, we do have the 382 right here, but inside day today, it has on the short-term time frame started a downtrend. So below the ADMA, crossed below the 50, and below the cloud. So definitely want to keep an eye on, but it did give a nice bounce intraday today. This one is likely to move with the market going into tomorrow. Tesla! All right, Tesla. So nice close over the 50-day moving average today, guys. Inside day up with a cloud breakout today. We pointed this out in the group this morning on the live stream, and members enjoy this. One of the things we love about Tesla that inspires us to go long is when you get this ramping up volume going into these big counts. Just love that. That's just a classic Tesla move. It drifted up a little bit here after hours too. So let's see how it holds. Again, next resistance level, of course, is the geometric line. I'd love to see it break out of here and try to make a push up to all-time highs. So let's see if Tesla can do that. PayPal earnings today. It actually had good earnings this morning, and it did a quick recovery today to fade the gap and then came back in. Crazy, right? So a big dip at it. We talked about that last night. That if it couldn't break below the after hours lows, that we have a chance on reversal because it did have good earnings, right? And it did that today. Nice move right here. Nice triangle inside 15 to work its way up for a quick day trade on that one before a lot of upper shadows up here, and it drifted back down to the 15 orb high. So a little bit risky there with the upper shadow. Again, see if it can take direction here after the election and after after it kind of calms down after earnings. So good stuff there. The Nest, what's going on? Going to see a GDRX, the good RX holding. So inside day today, again, key levels are the IPO levels right here. Again, we're still below the 8-day to see if these that inside day level holds and the IPO lows hold on GDRX. Earnings coming up on that one too, so keep an eye on that one. Fubo. Oh, you got all the hot names right here. So Fubo with a push right here over the ADMA. A little bit of an upper shadow, but some good volume coming in on this one recently. JMIA. So we talked about this weekend with Algo 382 and on the Sunday Elliott Wave show, right? So we like right here that it bounced off of the ADMA inside day up. Right, so that was a nice move out of the cloud too. Beautiful move right there. It looks like it's working on a sideways cup and handle. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. SMG. Yep, one to keep an eye on here going to the elections, right? Got earnings coming up too. Again, pot growing-ish type company, kind of related to the pot sector, the MJ, right? So it also looks like it's working on kind of a sideways cup and handle as well, but also looks like a triangle. So see how it holds, see how it goes into earnings. So good stuff there. Nice find on that one. So good stuff. And GWPH. Nice, yeah, huge move on that one today. Great move after earnings. Look at that, right to the 200-day moving average. Amazing how it did that. I love how it pushed it over the 50-day, got into the cloud, and made a nice move right here. Watch out for those levels here, but see if we can get some follow-through on that one. Could definitely be one to look at. Conway, Dax, what's going on? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. You own those futures trades today. Thanks, man. Yeah, Tradeovate's awesome, and so definitely a good one to keep demoing with. Once you get, the future's all about trading against levels and keeping low risk on it, right? Because otherwise it could be really risky, right? So, but awesome stuff, man. Thanks, and thanks so much for your support. I always appreciate it. Cameron, what's going on? Good to see you. APPS. Strong day today on APPS. Big candle on this one. Inside day up right here. Okay, so it's coming back. It bounced off of the 618. This is one that was on Paul's watch list that he gave to our group here inside the Discord. Inside day up over the 50, over the 8, and a decent move today with increased volume. Let's see if that can continue to work its way up. Otherwise, look for a viable retrace on it. Very, very nice on that one. AMD. Yeah, we got all our levels up here. We on all of our go-to list names, we provide levels to our members. So we had this right here. And it actually looks kind of like a channel, really. So kind of interesting. We're still below the 8-day. Gave a little bit of a push intraday. Decline volume. All right, so a little bit of caution right here. See how it handles the cloud. If it does break down below the cloud, we could see a test to the bottom of the channel. We have a nice open gap down here and a nice open gap down here. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. It tried to keep up with NVIDIA today. Kind of similar to it, but not as good. Pepsi. NVIDIA, best in breed. Pepsi, big upper shadow today off of the 50-day moving average. Still holding on to the cloud. Nice stuff. Umesh, what's going on? Tesla! So Tesla, again, back into the triangle. Inside day up for a breakout of the cloud over the ADMA and a close over the 50. So let's see if this thing can try to work its way up and at least test the top of the triangle on that one. Snow. Let's take a look. Snow with an inside day up briefly, right? But it is still holding the 618. It bounced out of the golden zone a little bit. Let's see if we can give another push up on that one. And then U, of course. Unity Software, inside day up a little bit and back in the range, so it's still just kind of chopping around in this this crazy geometric area. PLTR. Yeah, so a nice push up here off of the inside day and then back in range. So again, really, really tricky here. It's got earnings coming up on that one too. And then BLNK. Yeah, nice move on BLNK. A couple nice names today. Plug was another one that was on the radar today. A great push on this one too. Good volume. Right, so these are definitely ones to keep an eye on. These names, great stuff. Dex, great choice. Tesla, oh yeah, great job everybody on Tesla too. Fantastic work today. I love it. Great job today, everybody. Umesh, good. Let's say it was Square. So hung in there today, a little bit better than PayPal did. It's at the cloud right now. We got earnings coming up, so earnings on this one this week too. So let's see how that goes. Maybe it'll give a little bounce. I'd like to see it back over the 8 and the 50-day. Twilio hanging on to the 50-day right here. So we got that going on so far. Inside day on that one, and then Shop, tough one to trade. Inside day looking bearish. A little bit of a bounce on the 618, but kind of rejecting the cloud right here. So if it is a bearish move, right, one of the things we want to look at here is this retrace. And it's right at the 236. So kind of a crazy little zone right here, but if the 8-day is right at the 38.2. So just kind of see how it holds right there, but it's looking like it's working on a bear flag. Good stuff. Thanks, guys. And the next, FTCH. Let's take a look. Yeah, great follow through. Nice push through yesterday's upper shadow. Great move on that one. Baba, again, ant IPO. Didn't go so well. Gap down on that right there. It did test the pre-market lows and never flushed below. It gave a little reversal like PayPal and kind of came back in the range today. But that was a big blow to Baba this morning on the gap down. Again, we were a little bit sketchy about it going into this. A lot of red candles, not really a lot of action going on in volume-wise, things like that. So OLED. Again, sort of like the LRCX type move. Double inside day on OLED. Over the ADMA. I love it. CDLX. Keep an eye on that. See if we can get a breakout on it. And then CDLX with a big gap up and then a huge reversal off of this one. Nasty, nasty, nasty. So it made a move yesterday. In a day, let's just kind of take a look at the pre-market action. So this is the trouble with earnings we were talking about in the group this morning, right? I mean, they could go either way. It's like it could just be a quick cart. If you can get out here, great. But everybody tried to get out at the same time and then flushed it back down into yesterday's range. So nasty candles to deal with on that one. Jared, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, let's take a look at BCRX. Professor, appreciate it. Yeah, hey, it broke out of the triangle right here. We talked about that. Nice move here. So let's see if we can get a little bit more of a move here into earnings, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Just always be careful going into earnings. But great breakout of the triangle today. Nice momentum move out of those levels. So good stuff, guys. Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. I know everybody's busy getting ready for elections and all that stuff, but it's still good to put the topics out there, and I really appreciate everybody for tuning in for your chart requests. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Try not to focus too much on the headlines coming through here. Let's just see what the futures give us tonight and what we have set up tomorrow. We'll have a fresh game plan out for our members, and even if you're not a member, be sure to check out the link in the YouTube description to our public Twitter, because we do put out some good information there in the morning too with some good charts just to give some ideas. So again, guys, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll catch everybody bright and early on Reed, what's going on? Good to see you. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. So we'll catch everybody bright and early on the Good Morning Market Prep video here on YouTube. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. And whether you're new here or not, be sure to hit the like button. It goes a long way, and I always appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great evening. And let's see what happens into tomorrow. Stay healthy out there, and remember, risk first and stay